Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. For those who know me, my name is Mike Power, right? I'm running for E.S.T in the upcoming election under the Stop the Merge, Stop the Steal, and Stop the Lie slate. I'm running along with Pete Corrigan for president and Anthony Vincent for vice president. So, I think every election you get a lot of controversy and a lot of he says this side, they say that side. So we have to, as people running in elections and voting, we have to try to always figure out who's telling the truth or what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. And believe me, guys, I've been in the union 36 years. So I got to feed my dog's pretzels. 36 years, there's always different narratives that happen. This election is very important to us. I did a pie chart here to help us figure out some of the stuff that's going on. But basically, if you guys can see this, and I'll post this with us right here. See this right here? They want to merge our local into 87,602. So roughly about 90,000 members into this council, right? And we have 16,000 members. So they have 6 times as many members as us, right? But we have 35% of the revenue going in. So basically, they don't have 6 times as many people, but they don't have 6 times as much money. Anybody knows anything about business or merging anything together, this is the recipe for disaster. Now, the Northeast Regional right here in the middle, they have some weird voodoo math thing when they do their pension. It's like an actuality thing where it has your pension adjusts to what the market is, the stock market. Very hard to explain, risky to be involved in. So how they merge this out, my guess would be they're going to go with the lower of the two evils, right? So we're going to end up getting screwed on this end. I don't see them merging this into 90,000. Remember, this is only plan 1. Eventually, it's going to be the whole East Coast. They'll bring us down to them. They're not going to bring everyone up to us. It just doesn't make sense, right? They have to figure out how to work the numbers around. Some of these funds collected money from the Biden administration under the American Care Act. We'd have to go through all that. They did that in Philadelphia, I believe, and that screwed up a lot. I spoke to a millwright today. He told me his funds were 100% funded, and then they merged them. Now he has to work to 65. Sounds terrifying. So with that being said, it gives you an idea where we're at. I'm going to post this online, make it a little bit more understanding to you people, to the members. And if you guys see this, I posted this before. This is just something to show you here, Wills County in Chicago, right? All the business agents and organs, they went around telling everyone how great it was going to be. Don't worry about the merger, blah, 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 blah. As soon as they took over, you'll see it here. I'll post it January 1st. As soon as they stepped into office, they took the retirement age to 55. They shot it to 65. They eliminated lifetime medical for our retirees. And now you needed 30 credits to retire. And anything less than 30 credits, you lost 5% for every year before 65 you retired. This is terrible for a lot of members who get into business later in life. Like if you got in your late 20s or your early 30s or something like that. Now you got to go to 65 or maybe 67, 68 because you got to get those 30 years in. That's terrible what they do. So just to show you that this isn't only a one-time thing, let's jump to the other clipboard. So this is what they did in Seattle, right? After they merged the funds, everyone got this letter in the mail notifying them that their retirement medical was no longer there. After years and years of service, they had this letter, 6 months, that was it. And they increased their hours, contributed to the fund, and raised the retirement age. Another example of what a disaster everything is, right? Why do they do this? They have to fund their international pensions, and the international needs their money. I think Karen actually had a conversation with people how it costs $250 or $280 million a year to run the school out in Vegas. So that money's got to come from somewhere, guys, right? So it's got to come out of someone's pocket. I guess it's coming out of yours. When you look at what we have here, right, in our district council, and we're like 94, we were 98, now we're like 94, 96% funded. Why would we do this? Why would we merge with these other 2 councils, right? So I'm just saying off the top, let's just say there was 6 trustees in each council, right? Just for numbers, right? You would say to yourself, so you got 6 and now you have these other 12, right? If they vote yes and we vote no, then we lose in every vote we do. So they're actually having an oversight of what we do in our money moving forward. This is why I think the merger is a terrible idea. And that's why I think Paul's lying. I think fucking Adam's lying. I think Dave Carbolos is lying. Listen, they don't have much time left in the business, but they're willing to make this and sell it to you. To me, it's bullshit. That's no other way to put the word to it. Why would you want anyone making decisions that affect your pension, your annuity, your medical, everything for your family? Why would you want that? You know, they did it when they moved us to Blue Cross Blue Shield Independent. They gave us half a song and dance. They did it, and you're all witnesses for yourself how the medical went down the tubes. Um, we need leadership that's going to say no to stuff like this. You know, we got to make sure that people are held accountable. That there's full transparency. That there ain't deals made behind closed doors. That people don't walk into the room knowing what the answers already is, or being forced to make those answers. I know if elected, I can put a stop to this, and I'll fight tooth and nail doing it. And you guys have my word. Listen, I'm not afraid to lose my job doing my job, and that's always been my motto in life. So I hold true to that right now. Um, I'll be a force to be reckoned with. I'm not going to let this stuff slide, guys. So with that being said, the ball's in your court now. I need you to all realize how important this is. I'll put pictures up. The ballots are in the mail. They left yesterday. Most of you will start collecting them on Friday and Saturday. For those who didn't collect them, you're going to have to make a call. I'll post a link for where you can contact to get another ballot. You have to have your union dues paid up by November 14th. You must be in good standing for your vote to count. So you get your ballot, fill it out, send it back. If you got to pay your dues or pay your assessment, call the council, get that paid up to date. If you're not in good standing, your vote will not count, and you will allow something like this to happen. You'll allow this merger to happen. And listen, New York money stays in New York. We negotiate our own deals. We negotiate our own savings. They came up and tried to give you some bullshit answer that, they're going to save us money, $46 million over like 25 years. That number's ridiculous. It's the whole country. It's nowhere near that amount of money. They just threw the number out there. No one can tell you where the number came from, and they will tell you what the exact savings are. I don't care what the savings are. Us managing our own money has a value to it. I think roughly it's like $14 million was the number I came up when I crunched some numbers together. But don't hold me to those numbers because I'm not exactly sure. I just winging it off numbers I got off LM2s, trying to give an idea of what we actually spend in actualities for managing our money. Listen, I've got some great reception out there from a lot of people. All I can ask you to do is share these text messages, share these videos, make sure everyone's out there voting. This all comes back on us, right? We have the power right now to change this. We have the power to say no. All you guys have to do is cast that vote, put it in the thing, mail it back, and we're in. We're off to the races. And if you give me the opportunity, I'll fight for you. So I'll fight for every brother and sister out there. My reputation speaks for itself. A lot of these people that are down there, they'll walk off a cliff for these guys. They think that they got some type of connection, or they think they're going to be the next business agent and organizer, or they got some type of sweetheart deal with them, and they have some type of loyalty to them. So we have to look at what's going to affect us and our families, and what the bottom line is. And the bottom line is we can't afford for them to pull the wool over our eyes anymore. Okay, we need transparency. We need accountability. The leadership that's there isn't doing it. They've had their chance. They let the market share in the city burn, go out of business. We're now holding people accountable for doing their jobs, and we got to put a stop to that. And if that's what you want, then I'm the person you want to vote for. With that being said, vote stop the merge, stop the steal, stop the lies. Mike Power for E.S.T, Pete Corrigan for president, and Anthony Vincent for vice president. And with that, I'll get the job done that you guys need done to protect you and your family's future. And thank you very much.